Hey, let's bring up your next act. Give it up for Larry.
Okay, you know what? Before I answer that question, let's just take it a step backwards. Let me tell you how I got the part of doing the voice of Lion-O on Thundercats. I was called into audition. Now, when I came in, I knew that they were looking for their lead role. But at that point, they were looking for someone that was very much the heroic, all-American kind of stand-up voice. Very much a, hello, I'm Lion-O, I'm here to save you. But after reading the script, the first full script of the episode, I realized that he was someone with a bit more vulnerability, someone who was the new guy who was still kind of finding his feet. So I gave him very much more a, hello, I'm Lion-O, I'm here to save you. I got the job. Now, when we first started recording, Lion-O's signature phrase at that point was, thunder, 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 Thundercats, ho! That's what it ended up being. Now, in the first script, there were supposed to be 11 thunders before the Thundercats fell. So the first read I did, thunder, 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 Thundercats, we ended up changing it to just 3. Now, in those days, what they would do to audition new characters that they would bring on the show is one of the head writers would come in and say, hey, we've got this new character, who wants to read for it? And we'd say, hey, I'll give it a shot. Now, I ended up getting the role of Jackalman. A lot of us had 2 or 3 lead roles at that time. Now, what would happen in the initial scripts, at least when they were setting up the story, is there would be a few confrontations where, say, Jackalman and Lion-O, 2 characters that I voiced, would be talking to each other. And of course, I'd prefer to do those in real time. Say something, for example, say Lion-O's sitting on a rock there on Third Earth alone, just kind of contemplating. And suddenly he hears, oh, Lion-O, I see you're alone. Jackalman, how did you find me? Don't matter. It doesn't matter how I found you. Jackalman. I was very good at it. Now, I guess the moment, I would say the moment that I realized how successful the Thundercats were, I went to Toys R Us to pick up a gift for my nephew Ronald, and I noticed that they had set up an entire aisle of Thundercat stuff. So I said, well, you know what, I'm here, why not? So I walked down the aisle, looking around, flabbergasted. I mean, we're locked in a studio. You don't realize how big it's gotten. I walk down the aisle and I see 2 young boys sitting there, and they're talking about the action figures. And one of them says, oh, I think I'm going to get Jackalman. And the other one says, oh, I think I'm going to get Mumra. And I just couldn't resist. I leaned into them and I said, boys, why don't you get Lion-O? He comes with the Sword of Omens. Sword of Omens, come to my hand. And as I walked away, I heard one of the kids say, you know, he doesn't even sound like Lion-O. And I thought to myself, son, if you only knew. If you only knew. If you only knew. My ex-wife is in the audience tonight. We haven't spoken with each other in just over a year now since we officially separated. And then, just before I was about to come on stage, when I was preparing for this performance in the green room, she decides to poke her head in and say, hello. Hey, no hard feelings. She decides to ask me, hey, how are you doing? Thundercats. Oh. I still love you.